Right, welcome back everybody, and of course on to that discussion we've been promising you all morning. We've got the smaller new parties that are coming in to contest the elections this year, and we're introducing them to you so you can get to know them and perhaps find a party that speaks directly to you and you want to put your mark by their name. So let's take a look and see the three parties that are being represented here this morning. Let's go through it quickly, find out what it is that their priorities are. First party we're looking at is Arise SA. So if we look at what Arise SA are saying, these are kind of the key things that they are doing. Job creation, economic growth, unleashing the potential of sports and recreation in South Africa, quick wins for South Africa, supporting young entrepreneurs, encouraging public-private partnership in South Africa, driving innovation and investment through collaboration, and of course strategies for revitalizing the South African media and publishing industry. That's Arise SA. Then we've got Arise South Africa leader Mpho Dagada. Welcome. Good to see you.
Good to see you too. Thank you so much for having me. And good morning.
Nice to see you with your political hat on.
Thank
I know
you.
we always see you with your technological side of things, but now politics at the center of everything. Nice to see you, Mpho. Today, I introduced them to you, but once again, if you are just joining us, Hope for SA leader, we've got John Matuhle, the South African Rainbow Alliance's leader, Colleen Makubele, and Arise South Africa leader, Mpho Dagada. Good to have, again, all of you here. Mpho, straight into the conversation, because obviously we want to get an update of what's happening with you and the party, because I know that yesterday was a little bit of clarity on this. We know that Arise SA was removed from the national ballot. You, however, were back in the courts yesterday to try and resolve that issue. Where are we at? Any developments yet?
So yesterday we had the court hearing our case, and we believe that they're going to give a ruling within this week. So we look forward to that ruling. And really our case is to say that a few days before the elections, we cannot be removed because of an administrative error on their side.
Yeah.
So that was really our case yesterday.
So it's an administrative error. That was what it's been blamed on. So your chances of actually getting back on, I imagine, what would you say?
I think they're very good. At this current moment, what we're really saying to them is that you can't do something like this a few days before the elections. It really throws everything off. So I think our chances are quite good. Our case was quite good, and we had a very good case that we brought to the court, and we look forward to hearing the judgment.
All right, good. Well, let's wait on that one and see that that is sorted out. Well, while I've got you, and while we're talking, I want to go through each one of you and talk to the idea and the formation behind these parties and what inspired it all, of course, and what it is that fundamentally you believe you stand for. I outlined a lot of your mission statements, but to hear it from your mouth is much better. So, Mpho, let me begin with you. Arise South Africa. What exactly is at the heart of it?
We really want to cause a national revival where we bring in young people, and we bring in the industrialists, and we bring in the entrepreneurs to ensure that we build a very strong economy. We believe that South Africa is one of the richest countries in the world in terms of mineral wealth, what we've got in our land, and what we're able to do. So we really want to get our economy functioning at full throttle, creating the necessary jobs that are needed, and unleashing hope amongst all our citizens. It becomes quite important that our nation over the last 30 years has really gone through a process that has led many to depression, with the joblessness, a lot of hopelessness, the crime situation, the healthcare situation. And what we really seek to do is to make a clarion call to the nation to say it's time for all of us to arise from the ashes and build a country that we'll all be proud of. So we're bringing about young people, we're bringing about the old people as well, and really uniting the nation to say it's possible for us to really become a global superpower because we have everything that it takes. It's possible for us to build facilities that are going to be world class. It's possible for us to create the necessary jobs in the economy that are going to ensure that the majority of our people move out of poverty. And it's also possible for us to have ethical leadership, which is really important in our country because we lose so much to corruption on a yearly basis. And it's about time that we hold the truth accountable, or we hold a cabinet accountable to say, with a country that has so much in terms of revenue, in terms of wealth, why are majority of the people still living in poverty? So we really hope to bring back that revival in the nation, to bring back everybody's hope and to say, let's build a nation that we'll all be proud of, devoid of frustrations, devoid of corruption, and really unleashing the hope and the potential that lies in South Africa.
All right, Mpho, nice opening there for what the party stands for. Really what fundamentally, and this is something, Mpho, that I know is at the heart of everything. In fact, I mean, so much so that you were on the advisory, or still, I don't think you are anymore, but certainly when it came to being in the presidency, working alongside the president and the ANC in terms of technological development and technologies. This is a big bugbear, I think, for a lot of people, and you have a lot of solutions that you are coming up with to many of the problems that South Africa faces. but through technology. Perhaps you want to talk a little bit about that and where your frustration arose to say, they're not listening, we need to break away and form our own party here.
Yeah, I think a lot of times, we forget that the politicians that we've got in this country are actually pensioners. And the average age in Parliament is 60 years old. And how are we expecting that pensioners will understand machine learning, robotics, artificial intelligence, blockchain technology? These are things that they didn't learn about or know about. And even when you try to explain it to them, for them to implement something that they don't understand, it's quite difficult. So we got very frustrated as a Presidential Commission of the Fourth Industrial Revolution to say, many of the ideas of where the world is going, they're not actually able to implement, and the big issue is they don't even understand them. I'll give you a classic example with our water situation. Just through the Internet of Things, we're able to save up to 40% of water that gets wasted every single day through our pipelines. But to try and implement that to somebody who's just thinking about a tender, thinking about how their friend is going to loot from the state, is very difficult. Just through artificial intelligence, putting that on a banking system, we're able to stop corruption by up to 30%. To explain that to somebody who's just thinking about stealing from the state is not going to help. Healthcare, how we can actually support our healthcare systems where we don't have enough doctors, enough nurses. Healthcare can begin to assist, and it's even been proven that it's even doing better than what is known. And also what is important is to understand that technology for Africa can actually create the needed jobs. We've got stuff called as 3D printing, where you use our minerals to create final goods. For so many years, people have always complained to say, well, we can't beneficiate our minerals because we don't have the skills, we don't have the know-how. Through 3D printing, we're able, through virtual reality, we're able to get kids to learn how to be engineers in a much easier way. So what's very important is to understand that technology can support much of what we're doing and even assist us. Things like border control, things like crime prevention. These are technological things that have been created that are able to assist us. And really what we need young people in government. We need a generational mix in government, that we agree. But right now, we've only got pensioners. We don't have the generational mix. We need forward-thinking politicians that are going to be able to engage with how we can better our societies through technology. And what Arise is really striving for is a generation that's arising amongst young people to say, let them come on board. They've been to university, they've been to schools, they've studied and they've learned how things should actually work. Let's bring them on board and build the best systems to help South Africa and ensure that our economy can create the much needed jobs that we need.
All right. So I'm going to delve a little bit deeper, and I think it's some of the questions that we've got going on your stances on immigration. That is one question. So we'll dig a bit deeper. You say you have a technological solution to it, which should be obvious. I mean, that's what we should have. But I'm going to park it there and pick it up again. Mpho, this is for you. This is from Nkosikona saying, if they will be elected into power, what will you do with issues of crime and corruption in this country as well as illegal immigrants? I'm also very keen to hear this from you.
And I think, crime and corruption takes so much money away from our economy. If you look at the Zondo Commission, they basically told us that we lose close to 300 million every single year due to corruption. And the ironic thing is that we spent R1 billion to actually do the Zondo Commission. Yet till date, we still don't have arrests. So crime and corruption steal so much money from our economy. And really what we need to do two things. The first thing is depoliticize the NPA. Our National Prosecuting Authority should not have politicians near it. We need to ensure that we professionalize that service and ensure that the commissioners or the people that are put into place there are able to serve their term, because for the last 30 years, no person who's headed the NPA has ever finished their term. All of them always leave and say politicians are always meddling, threatening, bossing around our employees, making sure that dockets get lost. So we need to protect our NPA, and we do this by using technologies like blockchain technology, ensuring that every crime is reported on a blockchain. What a blockchain does is it keeps that information. You can't tamper with it, you can't change it, you can't erase it, and will ensure that those things are followed up. The next things we do therein is to ensure that we begin to hold those of public officials and protect them in the work that they are doing. So many whistleblowers in this country get killed by reporting the truth. We need to protect them, ensure that we even give financial incentives to people that will tell us about corruption. Why do we do that? We're already losing close to 300 million every single year due to corruption. We're already spending R1 billion on the Zondo Commission to let us know the obvious, which is people are being corrupt. Let us begin to pay people to begin to tell us about corrupt activities. They do this in America, they do this in the UK. Corruption has decreased because you know that the person working working next to you is going to report you, and they'll be paid for reporting you, and you'll lose your job. Now, when it comes to the borders, the first thing we must agree on is that we can't allow the first activity of you entering South Africa to be an illegal activity. We can't do that, because everything you do afterwards is going to be an illegal activity. If we're saying South Africans must abide by the law, why are we not expecting everybody else to do the same? So the first thing we're saying is that you must enter the country correctly. We cannot allow illegal to be the first thing you do when you come into the country.
So how do you propose we do this? I mean, what is the system you would put in place to control it?
I think one of the first things is to ensure that we protect our borders. Now, we can't build a wall because that's too expensive. But what we can do is use technology to be able to do that. There's what we call sensors these days that we're able to put up. There's what we call drones these days that we're able to put up to protect our borders. The next thing that we must also do is we must ensure that the law is agile to deal with illegal foreigners. There's a very simple system, fingerprint system. Every human being has got a different fingerprint. No fingerprints are the same. Our eyelids, no eyelids are the same. We've got a home affairs system that is able to check on the spot to see, is this person somebody who is legal or an illegal person? Upon that check, which is a fingerprint check and an eye check, if they are not, we don't need to first take them to prison and wait for a court date. No, immediately let them be deported, because the act they've already committed is an illegal act. We can simplify the system to ensure that we deal with these things in a much faster way.
As you wrap up, are there any parties you refuse to work with? If we go in, you get a couple of votes. I love the idea of, are you in this for the long haul? Because I don't know what your chances are of making it in this election. We'll wait and see. But if not, you're in it for the long haul. And are there parties, when it comes to coming together as coalitions and working together, are there any that you will not work with? Mpho?
Thank you. I believe that politics is solving the issues that the society has. Really what it's all about is ideas. And really what we're saying is that we want the ideas to come to the table. Right now in politics, what we see is fighting in parliament, people screaming and kicking one another, people being dragged out. We're not hearing about the ideas. We're not hearing about the innovations, the ideas that entrepreneurs have that could actually solve the problems like joblessness, like crime and all these things. Really what we're saying is that we're open to working with political parties that have practical ideas on how to better the lives of our people.
Good luck. All the best for the elections, 29th of May. These are 3 new parties that perhaps speak to you. You can vote. It's your decision.